Okay, everybody, I don't know if you can see me out there in Webby land, but this Glimmin' Row here, the Roman Gnome, and here we are again. Thought I'd come back after we did some foraging last couple of days, and the fungi of the day is going to be the Pycnoporus, cinnabarinus. It's the cinnabar bracket polypore. It's a polypore bracket fungus. It's not technically a mushroom. And as you can see here, it does kind of, to me, it looks kind of like pepperoni or something, for all you people out there who eat that kind of stuff. And I have several of them here in my bag. And I'd like to go over a few things of this one, because like I said, we forage, we find, we kind of go over the details of it, do a little research on it, try it out, taste it, you know, see if we can find any kind of other uses for it. What's it good for? Does anybody know anything about it? Do a little research on it, you know, use it for food, beverages, hygiene products. Can I use a utility item out of it or something, you know, something useful? What does it do? Can I use it to my advantage in a situation? But anyhow, as you can see, I got a couple of them here in my gleaning bag. This is how I usually wear it. It's got this little easy snap thing on there, and just a basic cheap little clip I just put on my belt loop around my neck. But before we get started, the last 2 weeks I've been using, I finally found a reference guide that I like. It's a little bit thicker than just a guide. It's kind of like a textbook, actually. And it's the mushrooms, how to identify and gather wild mushrooms and other fungi. Remember, we discussed that this is technically not a mushroom. This is a fungus, polypore bracket fungus. Okay? And if you can tell, what we'll do is we'll open this one up to what we're looking at, which is the Pycnoporus cinnabarinus here in our gleaning bowl. And as you can see, here's a photo of it in the book. It says it's called the Pycnoporus cinnabarinus. That was the closest one I could find to what this one looks like. And it's got actually an illustration. Here's some real detailed photos. It's got a simple explanation. It tells you if it's edible, not edible, toxic, or poisonous. And this one right here just says it's inedible, and that doesn't mean it's toxic or poisonous. It's just not 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star. In my opinion, it's not really even 1-star, but most of these inedible bracket fungi, are used for medicinal purposes, which means you have to prepare them as a beverage, crush them up as a powder, a paste of some sort, and it does have a use. But not as, you know, you just saute them and pop them in your mouth like, you know, those delicacies. You know, those high-dollar mushrooms you would get at, you know, Cafe au lait, you know, something like that. But as you can see, here's the photo of the what's in the illustration. And it goes into detail what it does, but it just says it's a bright cinnabar color, makes this inedible bracket fungus quite easy to identify. And as you can tell, it's orange, or cinnabar red, or rouge, or rust. To me, it looks like just a piece of pepperoni or something, if you're into that kind of stuff. But I'm going to go over a few things with this polypore bracket fungus, Pycnoporus cinnabarinus. And first things first, the orange coloring that comes off of these is caused by, powder, probably of another fungus from my research. So it's basically a fungus with a fungus on it. These are predominantly white, then they turn orange or red. See, as you can tell, it's kind of like it's coming off on my hand. But I'm going to be quite honest with you, the taste of these, I've eaten one, and I'll go ahead for demonstration purposes one more time, because it might have just been I had a little bit of coffee this morning. It didn't have a good aftertaste, but I did eat one of these this morning. It tastes just like aspirin, vitamin, and cardboard. And the smells remotely, well, I just had oranges, so I can't really say that. Oh God, it tastes like a aspirin, vitamin, and cardboard. And these are fresh. I just picked these yesterday. Oh yeah, definitely not on my A list, but it does taste like it's got aspirin, vitamins. It did have a smell to it that was remotely like a kind of like chlorine and curry with a little garlic. But now it smells like kind of like latex or plastic. And as you can see on the inside of it, so I'm gonna tear this one apart. That's what the inside of it looks like. So it's orange all the way through. And a little one I ate. It tastes like cardboard and paper now. But the first initial taste is going to be the aspirin. Like you just chewed up one of those real expensive vitamins that are like, ugh! But let's try one of the bigger ones and see what that tastes like. Latex. Vitamins. Aspirin. That's it. It tastes like if you were chewing on a rubber boot covered in aspirin and vitamins. Then after that flavor's gone, oh God. Yeah, if you like chewing on rubber flavored leather, but the main thing I can tell why it's kind of probably got some kind of a medical quality, it does taste like it has oxalic acid in it, you know, aspirin, and vitamins. It does taste like a vitamin type taste. Like, this could probably be used for something. But the latex leathery taste, oh God, that's just not on my A game. Anyhow, in that book it states that this is an inedible bracket polypore fungus. So, and I understand why. Like I said, well, let's eat another piece. Maybe it was that one, right? Right, let's try another piece of one. Here's the one we tried. It looks like a little bit of a trumpet or an orchid. But they grow at first. They look like the turkey tail, but they become blanched white, and they turn this red color. So once again, I'm eating it. I'm chewing on it. That one doesn't really have a flavor at all. There it goes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're stuck with that aspirin, vitamin, cardboard, paper taste. So, but I'm sure these have some kind of a nutritional value to them. They're just really fibrous, and they do taste like well, that one really didn't have anything going on. Yeah, so I'll try another one here. Maybe it's when you get back here to the base part, when you get to the basal part of it. But as you can see here, I don't have my autofocus on, so I have to be conscious of that. One more time. Yeah, that one's got a flavor. Yeah, the bigger one's towards the back of the base, where it's coming out of the tree. Definitely. Yeah. Ugh. Vitamins. I can tell. Oh God, yeah, that's like vitamins and aspirin. With a whole bunch of, if you've ever chewed on white paper or crappy cardboard off a cereal box. But I can tell there's some minerals or something going on there. Yeah, it's just definitely not going to be on my A game, my A list of edible tree fungi. If anything, I'd rather eat a dried up Coriolis. but you can eat them. They just have a vitamin taste to it. It tastes like paper. But I'm sure there's nutrition in here because it does pull that out of the tree, and it does have latex or a rubbery, feel to it. So what we'll do is we'll throw those back in the old gleaning bag and call that a. I ate some earlier today, and it did make me feel kind of calm. We'll just put it that way. I don't know if it's because maybe it does have oxalic acid in it or something, but most of the time that would come from a different type of a tree. But I did feel a little bit of I felt different about an hour and a half later after I ate several of these, because I do test these out personally before I recommend them for things. And bracket fungi are usually pretty friendly. A lot of them are inedible, as far as, buying these at a store or something, what you guys are used to, some of you guys out there. But that's pretty much my experience with the Pycnoporus cinnabarinus. And they're the most obvious ones you can probably see in the woods. Like I said, they're orange, bright red. They look like, if you're trying to describe them to somebody, waxy pepperoni. They look like a pepperoni. But they sure in the hell don't taste like one. They taste like an aspirin, vitamin, leather, boot, cardboard. There you go. But anyhow, that's my experience with the Pycnoporus cinnabarinus. And there's some of the research I did on it. This is not the only textbook that I did use. I looked up 4 other things, plus Missouri Conservation Department, plus the 2 other books, plus 2 other mycological resources. But this one here just pretty much gives you the point. It's inedible, and I ate it. I've used it for the last couple of days. Now I know why it's inedible, because nobody likes chewing on leather, boot, cardboard, vitamin, aspirin tasting funguses. I'd rather eat the Trametes versicolor one, or even the paper shelled ones taste better than that. And this is just like chewing on rubber tree bark. So they're not toxic that I know of. They're not poisonous that I know of, unless you're not very healthy, and then you start trying to eat things with nutrition and vitamins and minerals, then you start feeling weird. But anyhow, that is my that's pretty much my experience with it so far. So I'm Glenn Monroe, and this has been another Foraging the Forest for Food and Fun. And this is winter time, by the way. This is the second week of February. It's still kind of, freezing, but we're in our last week of winter weather. It's supposed to be thawing out. The end of the week, we're going to be in our 70s, so that means we're going to be zooming and shrooming, if you know what I mean. So thanks for joining me one more time, and yeah, use the forest.